Welcome into episode 31 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Woo!
Yay.
I never get to do the intro.
Dude, you want to do it?
We can redo it.
You just said
No.
You just said Brendan do it.
We'll do it next week.
No,
shut up.
Let's restart it.
Lou, go.
Welcome to the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast, the only podcast from, where are you guys from? Lawrence, Kansas?
Yeah, that's where we're from. Thanks for that, Lou.
No problem. So let's just keep going.
Okay.
You go.
Oh, okay. Well, that was great intro. So yeah, today it's me and Brendan.
Hey.
And our Nintendo Ninja Lou.
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Yeah. Before we get started, let's talk really quick about how we just added a shitload of new writers. We went from being a team of like 6 or 7 to a team of like 20 in the matter of 48 hours last week. That was pretty incredible. It was really stressful. A lot of introductions and stuff. But over the weekend, we had a huge meeting on the Facebooks. And we decided a cool new schedule thing of like editorial type material to release. And so I figured I'd run you guys through it real quick before we get started. On Mondays, we're going to be releasing a indie game spotlight where one of our editors will spotlight a cool new indie game or old indie game that they've been playing or looking forward to. This will be done in the hopes of spreading the word of the interesting new indie games that you may not have heard of. On Tuesdays, we'll be doing an editor spotlight, and so for like the next several weeks, we're going to be doing the top 5 games, and so each Tuesday you'll be able to see a different one of our editors and find out which one of what their top 5 games are and why they are and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. This week we had Miles go up, so go check out his top 5. And then on Wednesdays we have a question of the week where we'll address things like this week we had what do you hope to see at E3 this year, and that question will be asked to each one of our editors, and they'll be given a chance to write as little or as much as they want on each of the questions. So that went up today, so go ahead and check that out, or yesterday for you listening if you're listening on Thursday. And then on Thursday, we'll have the podcast and our new Throwback Thursday segment where we'll highlight old games, and normally at the end of the month, we'll do like a retro review. So if you like old games, go check that out. And then on Friday, we'll continue what we have been doing off and on for the last few weeks, and we'll be doing the Geek End update where you can check out what we'll be playing on the upcoming weekend and like whether or not we're playing multiplayer games and how you can join us and all that stuff. So... yeah,
that sounds great.
It's fun.
We're
stuff.
awesome.
We are awesome. We're the fucking best. Like, there's nothing better than us.
But seriously,
Not even
everyone.
IGN.
Not even IGN.
Geek End Update, everyone. Check that out and play with us, because I've been on like a multiplayer binge and I have no one to play with. So if you're into playing like Blacklight or Mario Kart when that comes out, check that out. I want to play with you guys.
I hope I never hear you say that again. But,
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Keep this PG.
Okay, let's go into the news from nowhere. Lou, you start us off since you covered the news this week.
All right, there was a new PS4 exclusive game announced, Without Memory. It's a thriller using Unreal Engine 4 by Dino. How do you say that? Dinosaurum?
I think
Yeah, I guess. It's a Russian team. That's why I have no clue. Dinosaurum Games. It's described as an interactive thriller inspired by Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. However, they say it's going to be better than that. The reason it's going to be better is everyone had an issue with Beyond Two Souls because it was a little too linear. There was only two real endings, I guess. And I don't think I'm spoiling that for anyone. But they said that the story will follow an ordinary girl that wakes up in a forest with no memories left. The player's decision will influence the plot, and there will be tens of endings. It's going to be a semi-open world game, and the point of view will be third person, while the touchpad of the DualShock 4 will be used to select actions. PS4 exclusivity was chosen in order to best use the capabilities of the console, so they say. And once again, coming out 2016. Did I say that? I don't think I said that.
No, I don't think you said that.
It's coming out 2016. That's why we haven't heard much of it. And they don't even have like a trailer or a teaser. They have some not screenshots, concept art.
Interesting. Well, since you just revealed a new game, should we go into the new PlayStation news that's just been announced?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. That's why I asked you. Man.
All right, you do it. You're the one with the Twitter open.
I'm on the blog.
Whatever. God.
PlayStation's Twitter revealed about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago that they're having a huge indie event and that they will be releasing information soon. And then right as we started to record the podcast, they started to announce like a shitload of indie games coming to the PlayStation 4. So I will list them off. I'm not going to read all the descriptions and stuff because they're long. But if you want to go check them all out, the PlayStation blog has a story on it. We might have a story up on it by the time you listen to this. I don't know. But there are a lot of videos and stuff for them. So anyways, PlayStation 4 games or indie games coming to PlayStation 4 just announced. How do you pronounce that first one? Apotheon?
Apotheon, I think.
Apotheon. And then Ironclad Tactics. Speak up if you know anything about these, Brendan or Lou, and you could say something, because I don't know anything about any of them. Scapegoat 2.
That's the one I know about.
That's the one you know about.
Scapegoat was that was my first review, I think. And it was Magical Time Being is the guy, developer, team that does it. And he just made the entire game off the really bad pun, Scapegoat, where people...
That is a great pun.
Yeah. And it's a really interesting like platforming puzzle game that has a goat trying to escape from a dungeon, and he's rescuing sheep, and he uses the help of his mouse, and it's ridiculously hard at points. I had a great time with it. I got at Steam for like $2-3, so for what it was worth for me, I had a great time.
Awesome. Okay, next game is Axiom Verge. It's a sci-fi side scroller, apparently. I don't know if that's part of the... Is that part of the title, you think? It says sci-fi side scroller. That'd be a weird title, but whatever.
It's an indie game, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. Very much true. Let's see, what else? Spelunky coming to PlayStation 4. I didn't
Colin Moriarty, eat your heart out.
I know a lot of people like that game. RPG platformer Chasm?
I guess the name's just Chasm.
Oh. Yeah, probably. Drifter. Jamestown Plus. Starwell, Just the Tip. Woo! Brendan knows that one. All right.
Wasn't that Brennan's Game of the Year?
No, that was my most anticipated game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's basically you are a narwhal of the stars.
What's a narwhal?
It's basically imagine like a beluga whale but with a horn.
Okay.
And that's a narwhal.
That's likely. Go on.
For active listeners,
a narwhal is a thing.
I know.
For active listeners of the podcast, I think we've had him explain what a starwhal is like 8 times by now.
Yeah.
Yes, you are a narwhal of the stars, and you battle other starwhals by trying to pierce their rather enlarged hearts with your horn. And basically, it's like extremely ragdoll kind of, with like slightly minimal controls, and it's just extremely fun.
Okay.
Yeah, even the demo.
Okay. And that's coming to PlayStation 4, so we know what Brendan's going to be pushing me to buy. And then Nidhogg?
Yeah, it's like a game that, it's very, very pixely, but it's kind of cool where you can do jumping and then kicking people in the face, and even when you lose your weapon by either throwing it or having it disarmed, you can still just like run away and wait for them to fall off.
Ah.
It's like really actually pretty good, cool dynamic where you basically have 2 divisions of like the map where you can force the other person to their far side, and that's how you win. Or
okay.
Or either way, or just like kill them a crap ton of times until you can make it to their side.
It's described as a side-scrolling competitive fencing game, so that's interesting. And then Skulls of the Shogun. I don't know, that graphic looks pretty cool. I don't know about if it's going to be very cool, but it looks pretty cool. Let's see. I think that's it, or all that's announced so far. Yeah.
Oh wait, you got one. Did you mention Source?
Source? No. Is that one of them? Oh yeah, Source.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. Okay. I saw Evolve or Evolving, and I was like, oh, that's just about Evolve. My bad. Yeah, okay, so then Source. Do you know what that is? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay.
Just saw it.
Okay, cool. Well, anyways, shitload of new indie games coming to PlayStation 4. No idea when. I didn't.
What does this mean to you, Courtney?
This means that I'm going to be experimenting with some new indie games. No, all this really means is that now they have more titles that they can put free on PlayStation Plus for the next several months. Since that's all they put free on PlayStation 4.
That's fair. What this speaks to me is that E3 is going to be crazy on Sony's end because it's a month, a little more than a month to E3 now.
Yep.
They could have saved all of this for then, and they're choosing not to, and that means that they must be so packed at E3 that these indie games fall by the wayside in a giant announcement, like randomly.
And even with all of these games, they could have even just announced a few of them today, you know? But like you said, if they have as much as we think they might have for E3, then they needed to just get rid of all of these now and spend all their time focusing on the big games that are coming. So
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I like it. Oh, well. All right, next on the news. Brendan, you want to cover it?
Yes. Destiny info revealed. PS4 lead. Shut up. Yeah, I read
Read
that.
the teleprompter as it says.
I'm like a newscaster. But some of the gameplay was revealed. There's apparently no person-to-person trading at launch for items. It was said, we're really excited about creating a player economy. This is going to be a game that the community really drives. But for launch, we're going to be restricting it to trading items between your own characters. Bungie's looking into cross-generational saves, which is,
that's awesome.
That's pretty nifty.
Yeah, that always helps.
And there's possibility of user-generated content.
No, God, no.
Like
learn from Infamous. Don't do that.
But do they mean like Forge or?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea what it means. So.
But groups of 3 are the largest possible party size.
Yeah, so like people bitching about 6-on-6 Titanfall, 3-on-3 Destiny.
The thing that I was wondering about for this is they say that the groups are only going to be the size of 3. Does that mean it's only going to be the 3 versus 3, or does that mean there's going to be like 4 or 5 teams of 3?
I imagine it's going to be 3 versus 3 versus 3 versus 3 versus 3.
Like big team battle from
Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah.
I imagine that's how it's going to be. So, but
that would be crazy. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, because then you could have your 2 best friends, going into Destiny, going into some huge ass map, fighting against like 5 other teams.
Or
That
my
would be
only
legit.
2 friends. I mean,
Or your only 2 friends. So yeah. So basically,
that's even hopeful.
Me and whoever I can scrounge up.
You still haven't played with me for Final Fantasy. You promised me that.
Dude, I am fucking actually reviewing games, thank you.
Courtney, it's not what you do. It's
you
what
have skipped
don't do.
your games for the past several months.
I've been doing meaningful edits to everyone's stuff.
As have I. Anyways. Oh yeah, did you mention the Warframe thing since you had been playing that?
Oh yeah.
The stat earlier we saw?
Yeah, weirdly enough, PlayStation, I think they're kind of surprised about this too because they just threw this out there and they said, interesting stat. Warframe is the second most downloaded app on PS4, right under Netflix.
How crazy
That's weird.
is that?
That's really weird. I don't know how to feel about that.
I honestly don't know anybody that like plays Warframe religiously or anything. Like
I've stopped playing because I think that Blacklight Retribution is just a lot more fun.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie and I played Warframe for the first, 2 or 3 weeks that he had a PS4, but we quickly fell out of it, it wasn't fun enough to keep us playing it. So, I mean, maybe most downloaded just means everybody tried it and we're like, no, fuck this. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Next on the news. Driveclub finally has a release date. It was revealed in a new trailer. Sony has announced that Driveclub will be available on the PlayStation 4 on October 7th in North America, October 8th in Europe, and October 10th in the UK. I don't know why there's a 2-day difference between Europe and the UK. That is interesting. But Shuhei Yoshida announced that the delay led to a major UI overhaul and some very minor tweaking to make the gameplay more fluid and fun. I think that was Shuhei, wasn't it? I don't know.
No, it wasn't Shuhei.
Well, the story I read was Shuhei was announcing the trailer, and he was talking about the delay and everything like that.
Right. I think he was. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to look this up right now. But I think he was talking to the new lead. Remember how whoever was in charge of Driveclub left?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, the delay resulted in the Evolution team deciding to make the most of the situation with new cars and tracks being created for the game, along with extra detail and other stuff added to the world. Skip that word. Oh, balls. So you're looking it up? What were you looking up?
Oh, yeah, I was looking it up. Let me see. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
What a waste.
Let's see. It's something that Rushy acknowledged. Yeah, I think it's Paul Rushy Rushniski.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Who is apparently the new director for Evolution Studios, maybe? Something?
Yeah, they have a new game director or whatever.
We're so specific here.
Oh, dude.
Fact-checking.
This week is not my week. Not my week at all. Okay, anyways, next on the news. Watch Dogs Season Pass and DLC has been revealed. The pack is set to cost $19.99 in North America, though European prices haven't been confirmed. The single-player story will cast you in the role of T-Bone, an eccentric yet talented hacker. Other DLC title Conspiracy is set to introduce the new digital trip game mode that enables you to hunt down cyborgs in an alternate game universe. Other bits of DLC covered by the Season Pass include more missions, weapons, and outfits, including 1920s mobster gear and garb only available to Season Pass holders. Purchasing this way rather than individually sees you save 25% over the separated prices. The Season Pass holders also will be given the DLC a week early.
Brendan and Courtney, have you seen the video about the DLC?
No.
Nope.
I saw that it was released or whatever, and I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
It looks awesome. It makes this like digital trip or whatever. It makes everyone look like zombie. It's kind of like a zombie DLC, but not a zombie DLC. And I normally don't go for that, but this techno zombie thing is really kind of interesting. I definitely go look at it. If you haven't seen it and you're listening to this podcast, just go take a look. I wasn't as interested in Watch Dogs until I saw this DLC announcement.
All right, I'm down with that.
Still a really good deal.
Yeah. I like the $20 season pass compared to like the $25 or $30 just individual downloadable content. I always get season pass, even though I never play all the downloadable content.
I don't know. I got kind of burned on the Last of Us one. I think I might wait.
My hair's falling out.
That's not a good sign.
That's existential crisis.
So yeah, Lou, cover the next news.
All right, we actually got a question. I believe it was from who said this? Do you know? Anyone?
Do we have a question?
It was about this specifically.
Oh, Watch Dogs or the next?
No,
one?
not
actually.
Not
we do have a question about Watch Dogs from Dennis. Dennis asks, Watch Dogs has now gotten a season pass. Do you think this is despicable? The game isn't even out yet, and they advertise for additional content. No, Dennis, I don't think it's despicable. Every game does it now, especially Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed does it every year.
I think if it's enough of something to actually warrant a DLC, I'm okay with it. Like sometimes they'll just be like, oh, well, if you get the day one DLC, we'll throw in a couple weapons and costumes. That's ridiculous. But adding a completely new story mode, kind of like single player campaign, is really interesting and something that takes extra time, and they might not even have time to put that on the disc.
And Ubisoft is so big that they could have another team working on this.
They're really big.
Yeah, they're ginormous. Yeah. So you had a question about what? Where was it?
I'm going through right now.
Was it on
to see.
Podcast Beyond?
No, it was on Unlocked, so I'm looking on the completely wrong one.
Oh.
Let me see. Who said it? because I told everyone they'd get a shout out, so I have to
You always do
own up
that.
to this. I know I should stop, but let's say on here we go. Podcast unlocked. Got it. Oh, it was Dustin. We already have Dustin. Don't we have Dustin?
I don't know.
Do we have a Dustin in Mong? Maybe.
Yeah. That's our Dustin.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have to say anything.
He doesn't get a shout out.
Talk about
All
the
right.
games of gold for me.
He said talk about the games with gold. So right now we're going to do a small spotlight on the instant game collections coming up in May. The PlayStation Plus will be receiving Stick It to the Man on the PS4, Puppeteer for PS3, Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 on the PS3, Skullgirls Encore for PS3, Surge Deluxe for PlayStation Vita, and Limbo for PlayStation Vita. The games with gold will be seeing Saints Row the Third and Dust, an Elysian game.
I've heard that one's really good.
Dust?
Yeah, that one was one of the Summer of Arcade games, I believe. Like last year or the year before. I think it was the year before, I believe. And it was made by like one guy, I believe, and he'd never made a game before that. And I've heard it was just like excellent. So that's a cool one.
But that Saints Row 3 though.
Who cares?
Horny.
Yeah,
You should play that because it's going to be free.
on my Xbox that I never turn on anymore.
Okay, I got a question though. PlayStation 4 with PlayStation Plus has been receiving mostly indie titles, and the last one was Mercenary Kings, was kind of a throwaway. Outlast before that, most everyone probably only played 15 or 20
Yeah, I was
minutes.
going to say 20 minutes at most.
Yeah. So, and Games with Gold is now getting Saints Row the Third and Dust, which are pretty good games. I'm not saying great, but they're getting up there. Are they starting to equal out soon? Are we going to see
okay.
quality start to level?
They're comparing the 360 to the PS4 when the PS3 is also doing the same thing as the 360.
Plus, the Games for Gold has been like doing some pretty good games for a while, like Sleeping Dogs and like the Fable franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are really old.
Sleeping Dogs was PS Plus like a year and a half ago also.
Oh shush.
So back when it was still newish. I mean, yeah, the 360 is starting to equal out on the free games with the PS3. They're starting to get there. Clearly, they're ahead of the PlayStation 4 because the PlayStation 4 doesn't have enough games to release for free yet. So, but yeah, they're starting to get closer to what the PlayStation 3 has been doing.
I'm waiting for Knack. I want to play Knack on PS Plus.
Dude, I really think you're gonna like Knack. Knack is such a good game. I really enjoyed it.
I'm probably gonna love Knack. I want to buy it. I just don't. I can't see myself spending $60 on it.
They've been going on sale every once in a while for like $25 and stuff like that, like
I don't-
GameFly and stuff.
Yeah, I don't buy physical copies anymore.
Oh man. Okay. Moving on. I don't really know much about the next one. Do you want to cover it again?
Yeah,
Anybody?
I want to cover this. I love this story.
Okay.
The Atari Landfill has been found. The Atari 2000. How do people say that? Is it 2600, 2600? Atari 2600 copies of E.T. the Extraterrestrial have been discovered in the Alamogordo. I don't know. How do you say that? Alamogordo, New Mexico.
I have no idea. Sounds like though.
IGN was on site and snapping photos of the excavation. The dig itself was part of an upcoming documentary that will be released exclusively on the Xbox One by the newly formed Xbox Entertainment Studios. This is a great story. I love this.
See, yeah, I was really happy to hear about all this because it was a huge day in gaming history and stuff. And now, ever since Saturday, I've heard nothing but conspiracy theories. That it was fake, that it was planned, that it was staged, that they set it all up, it's all these conspiracy theories now.
The truthers, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I gotta send you an article about it. Here. It's gonna go over the Skype in 3, 2, 1. Open that one up and just look at the main picture of it.
Yeah, I read this one.
I thought that was so funny that people are like, oh, it looks like the construction hat is floating over his head.
I don't think they understand that inside of a construction hat, it has this like plastic ring.
So it
and
can actually protect you?
Yeah, and that's what it's sitting on his head. So that's why it looks like it's floating.
These are people who have never been outside before, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? Let's when we make the article about it, can this be like the lead photo?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The one with the Illuminati and
Yeah, that one.
saucer?
And then the alien next to him from Mars Attacks. Oh.
But yeah.
And there's there's Bigfoot, too. Bigfoot's in the picture and a space saucer in the back.
That's the best picture I've seen.
Oh, man. And he's wearing a fucking necklace. What the fuck is wrong with this picture?
someone at Kotaku with way too much time.
Oh, that is excellent. Okay. Well, anyways.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see all this is true. It's a long-running myth, and I'm glad to see that it's finally resolved. It's one of my favorite stories to tell people who don't know about gaming culture and like what an interesting culture it is.
Oh, I agree. I've heard, rumors and stuff about this for years, and never really took too much of an interest in it because it's way before my time. And then I always heard that people were looking for it, would never find it and stuff. So it was one of those things that I was like, it's never gonna happen. And then when all of a sudden it just like broke Saturday, I was like, holy shit, it happened! Whoa!
I never heard anything about it until this time.
Really?
So I was like,
do you know what it is?
Of an ET, I was just like, oh, they found some games in a landfill. That's weird.
No, these were like the worst games ever created.
Yeah, what happened was in the 80s, they were releasing this game along with E.T. the Extraterrestrial. It was a licensed game that the movie just hit it big, and they were trying to push this, and they needed it to be out by Christmas. And
5 weeks from when this happened.
And when it came out, everyone and their mother bought it, and it was the worst game imaginable. It was buggy. It was like there were no instructions. Nothing made sense, and it literally nearly caused the collapse of the video game market. Totally. Everyone returned it, and they couldn't sell a copy of it, so they. In embarrassment, essentially, Atari went and filled a landhole with all the extra games that they had and systems and all that stuff. And they never admitted to it, but there was that ongoing rumor that people had seen these Atari trucks going in and dumping games, and that's what people have been looking for and what people have found.
So why a landfill?
To get rid of it.
Corrosive material, I don't know.
I don't know either. But back to the creation of E.T., like I think if I read the story right or whatever, the guy who actually created the game, when he was told to do it, he had 5 weeks to design a full game and then actually put it into practice, like actually make it work. And he was interviewed something like during this landfill dig or whatever about it, and he was like, whatever, I created the worst game ever, but 30 years later, you guys are still talking about it. So, whatever. I don't even care. It's like I was given 5 weeks to create it. What did you expect?
Right.
Oh, balls. Good story, though. Good story.
And then the next section, which is just Nintendo news. Nintendo had
cover that.
Yeah, Nintendo.
So
there we go.
There was 2 big major Nintendo Direct announcements. If you guys like the campiness and the fun of Nintendo Directs, I would say just pause the podcast now and go watch it, because they're 2 of the most entertaining Directs that I've ever seen come out of Nintendo. But the first major news was what Nintendo's planning to do at E3. And they kind of plan on doing the exact same thing they did last year. They make an appearance on the show floor with all these games and all these different systems. Meanwhile, they're, instead of a press conference being held in a big theater like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have done in the past, they're going to be doing a Nintendo Direct at some given time, and will be streamed everywhere. Meanwhile, they're also going to be doing that Best Buy promotion where you can go to Best Buy and participate in a Smash tournament there, with They never really clarified if you're going to be using the 3DS one or the Wii U one, but I assume it's going to be the Wii U one.
Yeah, I've seen different stories. One or several of them saying that they don't know what they're going to be using, and several of them saying that they're going to be using the Wii U. So I don't know either.
And then using what I assume is the money saved on not having that large theatered press conference, they're renting out the Nokia Theater to hold a Super Smash Bros. Tournament at E3 with some of the best Smash Brothers players around. And
like the top 10 or something like that, or top 12, or
it's probably either top 16 or top 32. That's just how tournaments run normally.
Well, okay.
Whoa. So they're completely stealing that idea from Evo. But yeah, I'm very excited to hear all that. And there's a lot of news for Mario Kart 8. How about you guys just ask me questions about it?
Okay. When's it coming out?
We already knew that. It's coming out at the end of May.
Oh yeah.
Can you customize your license plates?
No, you cannot customize your license plates, though. They announced today in that it was a really weird direct where it was some dude like waking up in the morning, turning on the TV, and suddenly Nintendo Directs on the TV, and every channel he flipped to was a different thing about Mario Kart 8. And that was literally how I woke up this morning, because it was a completely surprise Nintendo Direct. They hadn't announced anything to it. So I woke up at like 10 a.m., turned my computer on, and there was Nintendo Direct. So I was sitting there in like the same clothes, eating the same cereal as the guy on the Direct. But
you were him.
Yeah, I was him. Yeah, I was their target audience. But they said that your carts are going to be customizable. They've been working to make it in Mario Kart 7. Apparently the bikes were faster than the carts, and now they've equaled everything out and spent a lot of time doing that. They announced a new bundle. I think, well, it's everyone kind of knew the bundle was coming, but it's the Wii U and the Mario Kart 8 and steering wheel, and that looks like a ton of fun. Also, they announced a promotion for the US. For Europe, they got a much better deal. But for the US, if you buy a copy within the first month that it's out, you get one of 4 games. I think it's New Super Mario Bros. U, Wii Party U, Zelda Wind Waker HD, and one other one. I keep forgetting. I have them all.
So if you just buy the game and you get both those games, you get another game with it?
Yes, you get it free.
Well, fuck, I might have to just go get the game just to get a free game before I get a Wii U.
Yeah, you could do that. Or you could just, I'm not saying do this, but you could always just go to GameStop and pull out the sleeve with the Nintendo registration code.
Okay.
I'm not saying do that, but I've done it in the past. I've done it in the past, and that's why Nintendo thinks I own every single game they've ever made.
So next question, is Reggie going to be in it?
No, Reggie's not going to be in it. Did you ever see the petition where they wanted to put Reggie in Smash?
No, I heard about it, but I never got to see anything about it.
I signed that petition, I think, and I really hope that happens. Just like his Mii character. I'd be happy with just that.
That would be great.
Putting your Mii's in Super Smash Bros., that would be something.
That would be something. Is Robo Reggie going to be in it?
No, Robo Reggie is not going to be in it. That's something from the earlier direct, the one about the E3, which you should go watch because it's really funny.
It was great.
But they did announce, along with Metal Mario, there's going to be Pink Gold Peach, which is a metallic pink gold peach. I don't know who that's catering to.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
You got to make it a metallic girlfriend for Mario.
Oh, and also something very important to me. The soundtrack is awesome. They spent 5 minutes on the soundtrack and a recording video where they showed the jazz band and whoever they contracted to make the soundtrack playing, and everything looks like it's going to be great. Awesome. I can't wait for this game.
Yeah, I can't either. So I cannot play it on my Wii U that I don't have.
Just go get one. It's time.
I am way more broke than I was 3 months ago when I wanted to get a Wii U, so there's no way I can get one now.
The time has come. You need to get one now.
Yeah, and then I won't be able to pay rent in July. So there's
All right.
that.
So just go out and buy Mario Kart 8. That gives you a free Wind Waker HD.
Yeah.
And then you're solid until Super Smash Bros. Come out. And if you don't buy it by the time Super Smash Bros. Comes out, you don't deserve to have this podcast anymore.
No,
we're taking it away from you.
I'll have to get it by the time Super Smash Bros. Comes out. Like, that's the deal. That's the deal breaker.
Just sell your school books at bookstore price. You'll be able to buy 3 Wii U's.
Yeah, you mean my books that all cost $2 a piece because they're philosopher books?
Ew.
Oh, I know that life.
Those
sorry.
little bitty philosopher books.
We'll give you 20 cents for John Locke.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks. I really needed that. I would just much rather keep this book and look like I know something.
It's like the book equivalent of GameStop.
So are we done with Nintendo? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're done with Nintendo.
Okay, let's move on to some PlayStation news. Even though we've already touched on a little bit of PlayStation news. This week is the Golden Week PlayStation Sale. We've had a lot of sales already this year. And this is another awesome one where you can get games from up to 75% off. Golden Week is basically spotlighting a celebration in Japan. It has 4 different holidays. It's kind of like Black Friday is here, where it's the biggest week for travel and shopping over there. And so the PlayStation Network is doing a sale on Japanese games. And so there's the Atelier games, there's Armored Core, there's Chrono Cross, Chrono Trigger, Danganronpa, Dragon Ball Z, Metal Gear Solids, Hyperdimension Neptunia, Muramasa Rebirth, Persona 4, Reign, Saint Seiya, Soul Calibur, Tales of Symphonia, Time and Eternity, Ys, Memories of Celceta, and Zone of the Enders. So there's a bunch of Japanese games in there, and a bunch of really good ones, and that are discounted incredibly. Like Tales of Symphonia Chronicles, that's 2 games for $10. If you don't get that, you're stupid. I can't know you. You're stupid if you don't get that.
Oh, bye.
I'm not getting it.
Fuck you.
I'm not getting it. Sorry.
All right. Well, Lou, you're. We have a new announcement. Lou has left the team.
You know what? I think it's very balanced because you didn't want to buy Chrono Trigger because of the shitty pixel graphics that you can't look at. Any defense? No?
I don't remember which one I said. I don't know the difference between them, so I don't remember.
Chrono Trigger's the first one that's pixelated. Chrono Cross is the one with the horrible 90s polygon art.
I refuse to play all of the Final Fantasy games up to 10 so far because of old graphics. So,
But you're totally okay with playing Chrono Cross.
I was looking at the graphics difference and I was like, hey, I've heard a lot about the Chrono games. I've heard they're really good. And I looked at the graphics comparing the two, and I was like, out of those two, I would rather play Chrono Cross. So therefore, I asked. It's like, hey, is it okay if I just play the second one and not the first one? And then everyone jumped down my fucking throat. No, you have to play the first one. I was like, no, I don't fucking have to play the first one. I don't care. I just asked if the story continued. It's like, that's all I wanted to know. And I never said I was going to get it. Never said.
All right, well, for the record, Chrono Cross is just about the same, graphically, as a Final Fantasy VIII or Final Fantasy VII. So if you go into that, I expect you to at least go into those 2.
Okay, well, if I ever decide to do that, I might. But as of right now, I'm not getting either of them, so...
Okay.
But, whatever.
So what did you buy?
I didn't buy anything.
Nothing.
I already have Tales of Symphonia. I already have Ys, Memories of Celceta. I already have Persona 4 Golden.
You should go for Metal Gear.
I might get Metal Gear and I might get Dragon Ball Z. Those are the 2 I was considering, and I already have Reign also.
All right, if you go for Metal Gear, I would suggest on the PS3.
Yeah, I was kind of figuring that too. I would rather play it with a controller than on my Vita.
I like playing it on my Vita, but it's way better with the 2 extra buttons.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's see. I got Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. I've never played either of them, and that's on my to-do list along with every other game I've bought on a PSN sale. And Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. So now the only thing I don't have is Ground Zeroes.
Fair enough. I someday plan to maybe play those.
They still hold up. They do.
Oh, I'm sure they do. It's just someday. I have way too many other games to play. Oh man, it sucks. Not really. I love it.
First world problems.
First world problems for show. Okay, so the final news story we're gonna cover. Are you all right, Brendan?
Momentarily, no.
Momentarily, no. Okay. Well, we'll move on. If you need anything, just scream.
If he can.
Yeah. The PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita have got their big updates.
Do we have to talk about them? We kind of went into them with a large amount of detail last time.
We only talked about the 3 we knew. The Share Factory, automatic preloading, and then turning off HDCP. Let's just talk about the new stuff they added to it that we didn't know about yet.
Okay.
Now there will be live broadcasting in HD on Twitch and archiving support. Fuck yeah. Like, I am really excited about that. I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I don't even remember. Too many people talk to me on Twitter about games now. Anyways, I was talking about the update, and I was like, yes, the HDCP support, you can turn it off now. That's awesome. I can't wait to start recording my games. And he was like, well, I'm not really worried about it until I can start archiving my Twitch stream. And I was like, oh, well, why not? You don't have an HD recording device? And he's like, no, I do. I would just rather not have to turn it on, and I would just rather do it on the internet or whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So this is pretty cool that they're adding that to it. Are you gonna start twitching more?
Yeah, I am. I think that what's been holding me back is whenever I'm ready to actually, record something, it always is at like 1 or 2 in the morning when no one's online.
Yeah.
And then it just goes nowhere.
Yeah.
So now that I can save it, I can actually sit there and play Outlast and watch people and let people watch me scream.
Yep.
Like a baby.
And you can upload it too to stuff. So like, that's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be badass.
Right. Also, I think there's some heavy indication that we're going to get a music player soon on the PS4. Not only was, I think, Shuhei's profile seen playing it, a music player, but the Share Factory lets you upload MP3s from a USB stick and then put it into your video.
Ooh, that's cool.
So I have to imagine that they're using that to allow you to eventually take music from a USB stick and put it onto your PS3.
Other new options. The DualShock 4, you can now dim the light bar. So that's fucking awesome. I'm going to do that immediately. Like,
you don't like that?
It's just too bright. I don't care for it, Like, it's it doesn't really bother me because I play on the light anyways. But it's just like sometimes I play with the controller in weird positions. Like sometimes I'll play with the controller behind my head. Sometimes I'll play with it like against my face. Like I play with it all over, and when it's against my face, that light is right in my eyes. And so it's like, okay, I need this dimmed.
Wait, how do you play with it against your face?
Like here, I'll hold it. Like this. I'll play it with like this.
Oh, Let the record show.
Right in front of my face. I thought
you meant like...
No, like not touching my face, like right on my face, like right here. Sometimes I'll play like this, lean back. Sometimes I play it like weird. I don't know. So what are we saying, Lou? Let the record show?
No, I was going to say, let the record show that Courtney's now holding it directly onto his eyeball.
It's so bright! PlayStation, why can't I dim this?
PlayStation's fault, of course.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And then there's new friend options. It's now easier to find friends and send friend requests with the ability to search friends of friends, view mutual friends on another user's profile, and accept friend requests directly from the friends list. And then you can sort trophies by rarity in the options menu now. You can now have alternate payment methods such as PayPal. There are now more voice commands for your camera. There's a new PlayStation Plus icon.
Do we know what the new voice commands are? I love using the voice commands.
No, I don't see a link for a list anywhere. So I wonder.
I like pretending that I have an Xbox. I know I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the Vita also got an update, which updates the remote play, so it makes it easier to do stuff and other stuff. Good times. And then the PlayStation app on the phones got an update also, and it looks pretty cool. You can now see how many friends are online from the main screen. It shows up there with a number, so that's pretty cool. And it has a new icon. It's circular instead of square. I noticed that immediately. I was like, it's circular.
It's the little things for Courtney.
It is. Really little, Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, moving on.
Please.
We don't have a topic of the week, do we?
I think people just want us to talk about the Nintendo games. Nintendo, stuff. How about this? Are you, here. Nintendo is doing the same thing as last year. Do you think this means that Nintendo automatically loses E3?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
Why?
Because nobody's going to care. Everybody's going to be watching E3. The Nintendo fans, the diehard Nintendo fans, obviously, they're going to watch all the Nintendo streams and stuff like that. But I just think that everyone's going to be so tuned in to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One announcements that it's going to be impossible to beat it. Especially when they're not there on
they're not going to be doing it at the same time.
Well, yeah, but still.
And they are going to be there on the show.
Did this stuff earlier.
Well, yeah, I know, but they're not having their own press conference. They're not having even a press conference, are they? They're just live streaming shit.
They're doing the Nintendo Direct, which is what they did last year. So it's going to be like an hour and a half presentation. I was having a long argument with people on various Facebook pages. I don't know how much this actually matters. Just because I know that we like the idea of a really big theater being filled with journalists and doing that whole big program thing. But for most everyone who actually watches E3, we're doing it in the same venue. We're still sitting in front of our computer watching it on IGN or watching it on whatever station we're tuning into.
I still guarantee you, when E3 comes around and we check out not only at Middle of Nowhere Gaming, but when we check out IGN, Game Informer, and all these other websites, it's going to be dominated by PlayStation 4 news that is breaking and Xbox One news that's breaking all week long. And it's going to be few and far between that we're going to see Nintendo news. The biggest Nintendo news we're going to see is new game announcements, if they have any. Because we know everything that's coming out. Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, all these other Nintendo franchises that we've already known about. It's just little updates like, hey, guess what? You get to play as this character. Hey, you get to play in this level. And that's going to be pushed down the newsreel really fast.
I don't think that that's what they're going to focus on. I think they might, but even last year, what they did was they kind of announced into the future what was going to be happening. I think that this, while I think there's a solid chance they might not do this because they keep letting me down every year. If they went out there using the Nintendo Direct to go out and say, we have new Zelda coming, we have new Metroid coming, we have new F-Zero coming. Here's a new IP from us. Like, if they're able to actually knock out some great I'm just gonna imagine first-party games because no one else is developing for them. But if they're able to just knock out a bunch of great games and stuff that looks amazing, and they can bring it on the show floor and show it in demos, then they could still feasibly win.
See, that is absolutely true, but that's not the Nintendo I've come to know. Which is why I assume that that's not what's going to happen. Which is why I don't give them a fighting chance at all.
All right, but if they were having a main show conference, do you think that opinion was going to change? Do you think that suddenly they were going to be in the running?
That would make them different from what they've been in the past, which would hopefully mean that they were going to be doing something different, like actually announcing new games.
Like what they've been doing in the past for this last year. They've been at
E3
but you
every
year
heard
except
anything significant from them in forever. This is not only coming from me. This is coming from the common gamer nowadays that is just putting Nintendo to the side. Like, okay, Nintendo, we know you're still there. You've got your Marios. What else? I don't know. I hope they come out and they say they have F-Zero and they say they have Metroid and they say they have all these other games and then new IPs, like they show off X, that Monolith game or whatever, and it's like if they come out and start showing off some new stuff that we haven't seen or we have heard very little about, then that definitely they'll be able to compete. But otherwise, I don't know.
Right. New games are the only thing they could do at this point. Or a new system. That would be crazy.
God. Can you imagine that? The Wii U 2!
Oh, they're dropping Wii. I know they're going to be dropping the Wii.
Yeah, there's no way they stick with the Wii after this one.
What are we on? 9th generation? I say just put N9.
N9? I was going to say N7, like Mass Effect.
All right. Let's. I think we've exhausted that. Yeah. How about we go on to listeners' questions? Okay.
Well, Dennis finally hit us up with some more questions again.
I have a ton, actually. Oh, maybe not a ton, but I have a decent amount on the Facebook posts.
Okay. Go ahead and ask one.
Joseph Michael from Nintendo Voice Chat Forums says, what do you think of having the players be a part of game building? Like having a poll asking to pick an option or something simple like that.
Ooh.
Brandon? Like,
I don't trust people, so...
Fair enough. So, is that all you're going to get?
Well, I mean, like, a lot of people are assholes, and will choose the wrong thing to troll, so...
But let's say that, Fable, what are we at now? 4?
Yeah, it would be Fable 4.
Fable 4 comes out, and they go on Reddit and ask everyone, we're not sure exactly, we don't have it finalized what we're putting into this game. As fans, what do you want to see? Would you be okay with that?
Well, Assassin's Creed's been doing that kind of thing. They've been asking what they want for the next Assassin's Creed games and stuff like that.
We should be asking for more Connor.
That's what Gears of War actually just did it this week, I think.
I think, if they give a giant list of options or whatever and just see like what people are kind of liking and what they don't like and stuff, that's a good way to do it. But just taking open suggestions, that's where it's like, everyone's going to say random stuff. Like, I want to be able to fly. No, you don't want to be able to fly.
All right. New question. Johnny Mohammed over at the
Johnny.
Podcast Beyond. Yep. He says, with The Last of Us remastered and rumors of the Mass Effect trilogy showing up on Xbox One and PS4, how do you feel about the last generation games being ported or remastered to the new consoles?
It's easy money. That's what I feel like first and foremost.
Well, yes, that's a definition of what it is, but what do you feel about it? Do you like it? Is it resources being wasted, being squandered when new IP could be being made?
Oh, that's a good question. I like it for the sake of where I'm moving into the next generation, Like, I'm trying to fully get myself to the PlayStation 4, and the more of my favorite games on PlayStation 3 come to PlayStation 4, the easier I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that in that sense, I enjoy it. But in the sense that I have to rebuy games to do that, kind of sucks. But I don't know. Some of these games, like if they put BioShock Infinite on PlayStation 4, that's an instant buy for me, And The Last of Us on PlayStation 4 is an instant buy. These are some of my favorite games, and so I'm absolutely going to get them. But I don't know. It's interesting.
I would definitely buy Mass Effect, because even though I bought Mass Effect 2 and intended to play it on the PS3, I never did it just because I realized eventually how much Mass Effect 1 influences, and I felt at a total disadvantage even with the option to pick some of those decisions. If they can do a Mass Effect trilogy, I'm going to get that. However, once that's done, I've played just about every main trilogy that I want to play. And I don't need another remastered. It's great that they're doing it, but unless a relevant game's coming out anytime soon, I don't think they need to do it. Like, I would love to see Uncharted trilogy remastered, but let that go out right before or right after Uncharted 4 is released.
Yeah. Like, games I could see, like Dead Space. That would be awesome on PlayStation 4. Far Cry 3 would be awesome.
Actually, I haven't played Far. You know what? Far Cry 3 would be another one I'd have to buy.
I think Kingdoms of Amalur would be really awesome. Let's see. Skyrim would be awesome, of course, which would in turn, like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, those would be cool ones to be put on PlayStation 4. That's about it. That's all I can come up with. But Batman.
Batman's cool on any platform.
Exactly. Anyways, another question.
Let's see. Johnny also said, talk about Star Wars, because Star Wars is awesome.
Okay.
So I'm going to form a Star Wars question. If a Star Wars game is announced at E3, which game do you want it to be?
Whatever new title Amy Hennig is working on.
All right, but have you ever played a Star Wars title like Bounty Hunter? Battlefront was great.
No, Battlefront, and then one of them on Super Nintendo. I don't remember.
Oh, I played that one too. I know what you're talking about. I played it.
I remember climbing into the giant fucking
AT-AT?
Yeah, and then riding in the hovercraft thing across the desert. That's about all I remember, though.
Right.
Battlefield 3, Dooku's Deception.
I'd be okay with that. Also, Bounty Hunter, when it came out on the PS2, that was like the greatest game to me. I don't remember many PS2 games, but Bounty Hunter was one of them.
Wasn't there like a really good RPG, Star Wars RPG?
Wasn't that
Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, I think that
Knights
was
of the Old
Then the
Republic.
recent MMO, Old Republic.
Okay.
Everyone wants Knights of the Old Republic.
I never played it, but I heard it was good.
I haven't watched Star Wars, but if they can convince me to, that'd be great.
Oh man! Whenever you come to Kansas, I'm gonna strap you down, and we're gonna watch
Hey.
both trilogies. I'm gonna strap you down, and I'm gonna do naughty things to you.
Gonna play with my lightsaber.
Oh, I see.
All right.
There we go.
Use the Force.
Let's move on. Oh man. Okay, so Dennis asked, do you think the game should offer more content free combined with bigger DLCs, for example? Wait. More content free combined with bigger DLCs.
All right. We actually talked about this earlier, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. We said that games should always, not do day one DLCs that are kind of negligible. That's why I kind of felt like I got burned on The Last of Us, because even though we got left behind, all the other kind of map packs weren't that terrific. It's not like Borderlands 2.
Any more questions?
Does Dennis have another one?
Yeah. If you guys could recommend one game to each other, what would it be and why?
Oh, God.
Brendan, let's see. I would recommend to you The Last of Us, because it's the best. Or Ni no Kuni, because it's awesome.
Ni no Kuni. Yeah. I second that one. But if I'm recommending any game...
You have one, Brendan?
Yes.
What do you want to recommend?
I'm not going to recommend Star Wars, just because you'll never download that.
No Fable. No Assassin's Creed 2.
I know.
A game we've played, or Skyrim.
GTA, though. GTA 5. Though.
Oh, of course it's GTA. Okay. That's it? Why?
Yeah. Well, just because, there's so many things you can do, without the without the story. Not that it's stupid, which is still pretty awesome.
Like play golf?
No, they've had...
You're like, no, that's not what I meant at all.
No, golf's dumb in there. Well, I mean, it's more fun than, real golf sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, just the walking part. But, you can do, a bunch of, other types of multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that's not even all the stuff they've promised to release.
Yeah. So they're still releasing stuff.
Yeah, most of the time I've, played GTA has been just, in multiplayer, just doing random crap, trying to do stuff with my character.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely one of those games that I want to play eventually. Whenever I've caught up on my entire backlog that I want to get to, and then all the games I want to play to review that are new and stuff. I've been considering playing Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, and Saints Row. And then also Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Those are all games that I've kind of had on my peripheral or whatever that I want to play eventually. But it's none of them are so important to me that I want to play them now. It's just like once I start catching up with everything, I'm gonna get to those games. Just a matter of time.
Okay, if I'm recommending a game, it's gonna be Super Mario 3D World because you guys are dicks for not playing it yet. I don't care that you don't have a Wii U.
Bring your Wii U to Kansas.
I will. I swear to God, I will if that's what it takes. It's
man.
a ton of fun just sitting around your living room and playing that with friends.
All right. That's another game I want to play. There's a ton of Wii U games I want to play.
Is that the one where you can like create blocks using the like Wii U tablet?
No,
Okay.
That's new Super Mario Bros. U.
Is it the one where you can become a cat?
Yes, that's the one.
Yes, I'm totally gonna be a cat.
And it breaks the game in the best way possible.
Sweet.
All right.
Not to be confused with Cat Mario, which is like the worst game ever.
Is it? I never heard of it.
Oh, never play it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, Brendan. Thank you.
You're gonna smash your computer.
Oh man. Let's move on to the game releases this week. On PlayStation 3, there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. Wow, we thought PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale was bad. Child of Light, which I have heard nothing but amazing things about. I am actually really excited about it now. I didn't know if I wanted it before, and after the first few days of it being released, now I guarantee I'm going to pick it up or download it, whatever.
PlayStation 4 or PS3? Those are the only
4.
ones. Okay.
You kidding me? Come on now.
I'm still waiting. I don't know.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which I still have not seen a review for anywhere. Rambo, the video game, which is absolutely horrendous. It should not be a video game.
I spent like 20 minutes watching people play it last night. Just like on YouTube, Let's Plays of it. It is so bad.
Yeah, it is horrendous. And then Raiden 4 Overkill. I don't know what that is. I've heard of the Raiden series. And then the Darksiders collection and Red Faction collection. And that rounds out PlayStation 3. On PlayStation 4, Daylight, which I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some like 9s, but I've heard like 3s also. So
Do you know what one of the really cool things about it is?
Oh, I do. I do.
That,
Chuff Money and Jessica Chobot.
No, that's not what I was gonna say.
That's fucking cool though.
I think Jessica Chobot just put her name on it. I really don't. I think she didn't do too much.
She was a co-writer.
Yeah, well, I think she's uncredited in the
Oh, really?
game. I think they just tacked her on.
Okay.
She has a big following. But anyway, this is one of those PS4 games that is interactive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you could go, if you want to now, you have a PlayStation 4, go on Live from PlayStation, that app, where you could watch people play. Then go to the interactive section and you could watch people play Daylight. And while they're playing, you could sit there and, add a flickering light, or like suddenly they'll hear a scream from behind them and you could control that. Or you could add footsteps around them. And it's a really fun way to, it's interesting to watch Twitch if you get to interact with people.
That's awesome.
I really hope they bring that to Left 4 Dead.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool. But anyways, also on PlayStation 4, Child of Light and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And the Vita got nothing, so that's kind of disappointing. Brendan, the Xboxes?
With the Xbox 360, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Darksiders Collection, and Child of Light, and on the Xbox One, Child of Light.
Oh, and actually, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is now on Xbox One also, digitally. It was supposedly delayed and all this shit was going on, but then Major Nelson announced yesterday, I believe, that, it's actually available now for digital download or whatever. But the physical copy, is, from what I understand, is not out yet. I don't know. Weird mess. But, what about PC?
Daylight, Rambo, the video game. I can't wait for Rambo 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Nice little comment there.
Red Faction Complete. Some French word.
Croiler.
Croiler. Child of Light. Blood Rain Betrayal. Hex Sweeper.
Yeah.
MAV. Rocket Spocket Sprockets.
Rocket Sprocket Sprockets.
Yes.
Rocket Sprocket Sprockets.
Sprockets. Oh, wait, yeah.
And then Farming World.
Farming World. It's like Farming Simulator.
2014, 2013.
All right. Nintendo Ninja.
Now, over at Nintendo, on the Wii U, we have the amazing Spider-Man 2. We also have Child of Light and Abyss. I'm waiting to see what Child of Light works best on, because I can get it on the PS4 or the Wii U. As for the 3DS, we got the amazing Spider-Man 2, Gardening Mama 2, Forest Friends.
That's Brendan's next game.
That's what I'm going to recommend to you guys.
Gardening Mama 2. Oh.
Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return, never heard of it. Kirby Triple Deluxe, which got, I hear, pretty good reviews. And Mario Golf World Tour, which I can't wait to get. I'm waiting for finals to be done. I'm gonna play the shit out of that game.
I've heard it's really good. And I've also heard that Greg Miller's bragging about being like the best at IGN.
He's the only one who plays at IGN.
But like when I had the GameCube, that was one of my favorite games. I took up golfing because of how much I loved Mario Golf.
Yeah, the N64, it was pretty nice.
Was it? I don't know about the N64. Never had it.
I played it once on the GameCube, I think. At a friend's house. I don't know. I like golfing games, especially when they're something more silly like Mario Golf, you know? Like, that makes it more fun than just like, you know, PGA Tour, golf with guys you've never heard of. Like, I'm not down with golfing with these old guys and stuff. I'd much rather golf with Mario and Luigi and shit.
Especially because when you make it out of bounds, Toad just swings a flag saying, "Oh, B," like over and over.
Oh.
That's half the fun.
Is it?
So I'll be bringing you guys that review, hopefully, as soon as this is over. And let's go to the closing segments.
All right. So, as we say every week, we record on Wednesdays and release on Thursdays. We always ask for you to email us or comment on all of our stories and stuff. You can
Wait a
email us-
second.
What?
Wait a second.
What?
You used to have a section in between this. Yeah, what happened to the what we're playing section?
We took it out because of the Geekend update.
Ah, damn it. It's not the weekend, though. Okay, we'll do it. Let's just keep rolling.
Okay. You can email us at mong.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Middle of Nowhere Gaming Mong on Facebook or at Mong Podcast on Twitter. Be sure and check out the website, middleofnowheregaming.com, for all of the latest news and editorials and all that good stuff, especially with our new schedule on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All the good stuff that we announced at the very beginning. You go back to listen to it just to remember. And then the podcast, which you could also find on iTunes and all of your other favorite podcasting catching devices and softwares. We have all that stuff. But you can find us all on Twitter. You can find me at Osborne_2009. You can find Brendan
at Brendan Jester.
And you can find Lou at
Lou Cantaldi.
Lou Cantaldi sucks.
That's not it.
That's not it?
No.
That's just Lou Cantaldi?
Just Lou Cantaldi.
Lou Cantaldi. Okay.
I should switch it, though. That'd be nice.
Lou Cantaldi sucks. I'm gonna make another one.
I'm so famous, I have a parody one.
Exactly.
Wait, make it the same picture and just like copy all of his tweets.
Yeah, with adding a few words here and there to make it sound stupid. I have an idea. Oh, I just told the world about it. Damn it. Well, anyways,
bleep it out.
Next week is stop week, so busy as fuck with homework and projects and shit like that, so it's going to be exciting. But in about 2 or 3 weeks, whenever we're all said and done with school, oh man, news is going to get big because E3 is going to be rolling around. We're going to be playing all
When
kinds
does that
of
happen?
games.
We're already talking about that. When does that actually happen?
E3?
It's like a month, right?
Yeah, E3 is about a month and 2 weeks, so it's 6 weeks away.
Holy shit, we're going to be droning on about this for a month and 2 weeks.
Oh, it's going to go faster than you can believe, man. It's going to go quick.
After finals week.
Yeah, once we get all these games that are coming out next month and you get Mario, golf, and all this stuff, oh man, time's going to fly. It's going to be awesome.
I don't want time to fly.
Oh man. Okay, well, anyways, we'll talk to you again next week. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
See you guys.
Mong!
Mong. Mong.
Mong!
Singing it now.
Mong! Mong! Mong!
Oh!
What the fuck was that?